Yo, what's going on guys? Arax here, and today, since we are officially in 2023 and we have a ton of exciting games ahead of us, I want to take some time to talk about PlayStation specifically. There are lots of exciting projects in development, some closer to completion than others, but amidst the PlayStation family of studios, there is lots to look forward to. So today, I want to take a look at some of the big projects that are in development for the platform. So if you guys do enjoy this video, then a like would be super appreciated, and let us know down below what projects are you most excited about. This list will not cover all of them, so naturally, if there's one I missed that has you hyped, let us know. Now, first up, let's talk Spider-Man. Last year, developer Insomniac Games confirmed that Marvel's Spider-Man 2 would be coming this year. And while no exact date is known just yet, the release window is currently set for fall 2023. It's said that in this game, following the events of Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, the Spider duo of Peter Parker and Miles Morales are back in the next blockbuster action chapter of the Marvel Spider-Man series. Outside of the short teaser trailer they released, not much is known just yet, and no doubt we'll learn much more throughout the year, but going off the quality of the past two titles, we are bound to be in for a fantastic new original adventure. Plus, the trailer teases Venom at the end, and I for one love anything that has Venom in it, so I can't wait to see how this adventure pans out later on this year. However, following on from that, we of course have Horizon Call of the Mountain, the PSVR 2 title, set to provide fans with a fresh perspective of the world of Horizon, a first-person virtual reality perspective, no less. The shift to first person, of course, will naturally make a big difference to elements like climbing and combat, and judging by the teaser trailer, a whole lot more intimidating when you have to face off against a mechanized beast. And this experience is launching next month, February 22nd. However, the VR experience isn't the only Horizon project in the works. There is also a rather ambitious multiplayer project that is in development, and while at this stage it's very light on information, the news on this came from a job advertisement. Guerrilla made the announcement in a recruitment tweet. Along with working on the more epic solo adventures for Aloy, the star of the first two games, the studio has set up a separate team to create an online project set in Horizon's universe. It added that the latter will feature new characters and a unique stylized look, as well as the fact that friends will be able to play together, which suggests there will be a focus on co-op. Rumours had of course been swirling since last year that Guerrilla were planning a multiplayer Horizon game, and the studio has now confirmed that that is the case. Sony is also placing a bigger focus on live service games. It's planning to release 10 of them by March 2026, including a multiplayer offshoot of The Last of Us. However, it's unclear how the online Horizon game fits into that strategy, so right now, just watch this space. Next up on the list, what about Bend Studio? If the name isn't familiar to you, this is the studio known for Siphon Filter and more recently, Days Gone. It's now been 4 years since Days Gone shipped, and since then all we've seen is a new logo for the studio, which admittedly gives us absolutely nothing to go on, aside from the fact that they are giving themselves a nice new lick of paint. However, we do know that the studio is hard at work on something, as Kevin McAllister revealed via the PlayStation blog when they revealed their new logo that they are quote-unquote currently working on a new IP that includes multiplayer and builds upon the open world systems of Days Gone, but brings you a whole new world that we are extremely excited to craft for you. We cannot wait to reveal it to you when the time is right. Now naturally, when they say when the time is right, that really can mean anything. Is it this year? Next year? 5 years? Who knows? But a multiplayer experience taking advantage of the open world systems of Days Gone does sound pretty exciting. So again, watch this space. Following on from there, attention then turns to Bluepoint Games, the studio known most recently for the fantastic remake of Demon's Souls. And since Demon's Souls was released, the recently obtained studio Bluepoint Games have been hard at work helping out on God of War Ragnarok. The studio is not massive, with only about 70 staff reported at the last count, so it would be more than likely that the entire studio was helping Santa Monica Studio finish that epic saga. But despite that, it has said previously that they are working on an all-new original game. However, there are no other details beyond that. That does also mean that for fans that were perhaps hoping that Bluepoint might be tasked with working on, say, a Bloodborne remake, might have to wait a little bit longer if they are indeed working on their own original title. But the big question is, when will we see this new game? Will it be this year? That much we'll just have to wait and see. With so many games being pushed into 2023, it is shaping up to be a stacked year for gaming. And with E3 returning as an in-person event this year, it would be the perfect opportunity to showcase some big new games. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Another exciting project, but one we still have nothing much to go on, is a project from London Studio. Known for their work on SingStar and Blood and Truth, they are now working on a rather ambitious new project, and all we've seen so far is this pretty epic looking concept art. But even this gets me kind of excited. Their official statement for this project says, "We are proud of the history and innovation that we have done over the years supporting all sorts of PlayStation technology, whether that's VR or AR or microphones or whatever, and with this new project we really wanted to explore some new avenues and set ourselves some new challenges. We definitely wanted to try something a little different, and I think this new project really channels our brave value and allows us to push ourselves on the curious front too. It's an exciting future, it really is." What we do know of the game is that its setting takes place in a modern fantasy London, and the game will also be built for the PlayStation 5 and offer a full cooperative action experience. With the game only just getting teased last year, a full reveal is the only likely thing on the cards this year, but still, it'll give us something to get excited about. After that, attention turns to Naughty Dog. With The Last of Us Part 2 out and The Last of Us Part 1, the complete remake, released, the attention then turns to what's next, and that next seems to be focused around multiplayer. It was during Summer Games Fest that we learned more about the future of the studio. The first thing is that a multiplayer-focused game that is set within the world of The Last of Us is in active development, with a few pieces of art being shown off. If you guys played the original Last of Us, then you are likely familiar with the Factions mode, which was actually pretty good fun. So if they can bring something akin to or better than that back, and in its own standalone product, that could be quite exciting. But we also got confirmation that Neil Druckmann is stepping back into the world of game development, working on something totally new. The confirmation of his game was so early that there was nothing shown for it, so we have no idea what it is or when it might be ready, so hold expectations right there. Personally, I would love to see a new Uncharted game, I do just love that series, but I get the feeling that he's likely trying to work on something completely new, so maybe that won't happen. And then finally, one that I'm personally very excited about from Team ASOBI. If you guys remember Astro's Playroom, the really cute launch title for PlayStation 5 that, in my opinion, did the best job of showcasing the full capabilities of the DualSense controller, it was a fantastic title, and the only bad thing about it was that it was super short, since it was basically a glorified tech demo. Well, it has been more than 2 years now since Astro's Playroom launched, and the studio has been radio silent on their next project. The group did get spun out of Japan Studio back in 2021, and they were actively hiring soon after, but beyond that, there hasn't really been anything public about their plans. However, given the success of Astro Bot, both in the Playroom game and the VR-only Rescue Mission, it wouldn't be a stretch to see them releasing a new VR game for PlayStation VR 2, at least at its sort of most basic, even if it's just a port of the Rescue Mission. But personally, I really do hope they work on something on a much grander scale. I want to see Astro Bot get a fully fledged game with a vast world to explore, think things like Ratchet and Clank, but with Astro Bot, and I also feel like Astro makes a fantastic PlayStation mascot too, so I'd really like to see more done with this. But this one, right now, is very light on detail, so again, we'll have to wait and see. But there you have it. There's a look at some of the big PlayStation projects in the works, some coming sooner than others, but regardless, lots to look forward to. Let me know which ones you guys are most excited about below. If you've missed some of our recent videos, you can check out one of these ones, and keep it locked for plenty more.